Well, welcome to the lounge, folks. I'm Reverend Jeff, and I'm going to give you a little tour of the Myakka State Park that we've been talking about, the skunk ape, here all weekend long. So we're going to start out here, and we're taking a look at the little red A here that's on the screen, and it is definitely a very squatchy looking place to me. So let's go ahead and zoom out here a little bit, and let's take a look at what we're talking about here. We're talking about the great state of Florida. Okay, and where we're talking about here is lower central Florida, right above where the Everglades are going to start, and really one of the last wild places that are still left inside of the state of Florida. So let's go ahead and get back in here, zoomed in a little bit closer here. Now we've got Lake Okeechobee that's down here to the southeast, and there are plenty of skunk ape sightings that come from around this area, as well as the Everglades down here in the south, where you can see that pretty much all of the excess water pours out through the Everglades down into the southern Atlantic by the Florida Keys. So that's really what we're talking about here. This is the area we're just outside of the to the southeast of Sarasota in Florida. Now let's pull in here a little closer and let's take a look at what's going on here in Florida. So you've got this giant area of controlled state land that there isn't any hunting inside of the state park areas whatsoever. And you've got two lakes, one to the south and one to the north of the area that they're talking about that this sighting took place. So let's go ahead and bring it in a little closer here. And this is the area that we're talking about. Okay, so we're directly between two lakes, and we have a waterway that runs between the two lakes. And according to the last report that I saw from Michael Merchant when he was interviewing with Stacy Brown, we're talking about a lot of sightings from this little community that's in the area, and you can see why. All of the water sources are drying up. I mean, literally, all of the water sources are drying up. And I don't know what we're going to do about that. I mean, that's why the animals are being driven to certain locations. All of these dark spots that you see here at one time were water-filled ponds, and they're just gone. We don't, that's what's happening. So the animals only have so many places they can go. So you've got a large lake to the north, and you've got a large lake to the south, and a water estuary that runs between, and very little population, and nowhere else to drink. So let's get in here a little closer and take a look at the actual park itself. This is a location where Tim Fasano and Stacy Brown, they were down here investigating it today. And here's, the entrance to the parkway. And you'll go in, and there's a road that runs you all the way around the park. You can see that there's only one little set of houses in here. There's only one little bit of residential in all of this wilderness land. You've got some mobile homes that are in this location here underneath the hand, and over here to the left you've got a housing development, and that's it. But if you notice, the only water that's in the area is this waterway that runs between the two lakes. So if there's going to be a skunk ape in this area, this is definitely a place that it's going to be. And like I had said on the Squatch Talk Live with the fellas, this is an area that you actually could control. If there's a skunk ape in this location, you can see by the general area around the Sarasota Wilds there, the wildlife management area, that a group of 4 or 5 sets of researchers could definitely do some damage in there and find out what kind of wildlife is really in the area pretty quickly. So if there's going to be something that we can figure out, this definitely could be an area that does it. So if this is if this turns out to be a genuine sighting and there's actually an animal in this location, it really wouldn't be that difficult of a time to put together an expedition or a research outing or whatever and try and get to the bottom of it. If it's some guy in a monkey suit, fine. It's definitely not a bear. It's definitely not a turkey, as Michael Merchant likes to say. And, that's what we're going to be taking a look at. So we'll continue to bring you updates, and we'll see what happens from here on out. For now, I'm Reverend Jeff, and thanks for joining me in the lounge, and may the Squatch be with you.